Hey y'all, I am Christy with Christy's Home, and today we are going to make a lower fat, healthier version of spinach artichoke dip. So I've already put about 2 big handfuls of spinach in my food processor, and we're going to just kind of not make it, we're not going to make it real fine. I want it to be a little bit, I'll show you. I'll show you. I want it to be about like this. I'll show you. That's why I got me a glass bowl here, so you can see what I'm putting in here. It almost looks like, yeah. I want it to be the consistency of what you'd think like a green onion when you cut it up would be like. Because I want you to be able to see the spinach in there. You know, sometimes when you use frozen spinach, it's all mushy and all that. I don't want that. I want it to be fresh and bright looking. So that's why I'm using fresh spinach. And it smells really good too. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to use some artichokes. And that's why I have my cutting board right here. So I'm going to get my spoon out. Artichokes are good for you. I get these large jars over at Costco, and I really like them. They've got a little bit of tanginess to them, which makes them go really, really well. And I'm gonna put like, I don't know, probably about a good cupful, maybe a little bit more. And if you're using the kind in the can, just get a can. So now I'm just going to push into the middle of our board. They're very soft. You'll find that out. They're very soft. Just going to cut them up real fine. But they don't need to go in the food processor because they're really, really, really soft. Just really soft. And they're going to go over in our glass bowl in just a minute. I think there's a little crack in my, is that a crack? Oh, I don't know. Ouch. You guys, you're going to find out, if you're new to me, that I'm a hoot. That I am an absolute hoot. I have been on Facebook for 10 years or more. And I have done some of the silliest things. I've cut my own hair. I've colored my own hair. I have, I've made cinnamon rolls and I followed half of one recipe and half of another. I have done some really crazy things. And so if you don't know much about me, I live in Indianapolis, Indiana. Well, and I live in a suburb called Avon. And my grandson and I roommate. And yeah, I'm pretty silly. Okay, that's about half and half. That's about exactly where I needed to be. Great. So, that's wonderful. So we're gonna move this right out of the way. I'm gonna wash my hands real quick. And I'm also a hand washer. You're gonna find that out. I'm a great big hand washer. That oil's gotten all over my hands. And I hope you're gonna really like the journey to a healthy eating and weight loss, I guess is the only other way you can put it. So the next thing we're gonna do is in our food processor that already had our spinach in it, we're going to add some cottage cheese. I know everybody's on the cottage cheese bandwagon right now, but I've been on a cottage cheese bandwagon for a long time because I love cottage cheese, and there is my slotted spoon that I was looking for earlier. So I'm gonna probably start out with a good cup of low-fat cottage cheese. Just gonna put it right in here. Put it right down in here. Okay, and then I'm also going to put a lid on here. And then I'm going to also put about 4 ounces of low-fat cream cheese. Low-fat cream cheese. Let me grab a knife. I thought I had all this stuff out ready. Sorry. And I'm not one of those people that can take a video hardly than just condense it down to 18 seconds. I'm not that person. So if that's the person you're looking for, that's probably not me, because I am way more personable than that. I'm a talker. I'm a relationship person. So that's probably what I am. Okay, so now I'm going to take some Worcestershire sauce, and I'm just going to give it, you know, some Worcestershire sauce. And I'm also going to give it some, let me pound it on my bar. I'm also going to give it some roasted red bell pepper, just a good tablespoon. That was probably a little bit more than a good tablespoon. I love roasted red bell pepper, and we're also going to give it a little bit of garlic, because we want this to have a lot of flavor. Tablespoon, a good tablespoon. When I say a tablespoon, I mean a tablespoon-ish. And you can always do this however you want. I'm just telling you how I do it. And a little bit of hot sauce. We're into that kind of thing around here. And I'm going to get some pepper. I'm not going to salt this until I try it, because, you know, I don't want to over salt it. But I do definitely need some pepper in there. And then we're going to give this a swoosh. And then we are going to put it down in our mixture here. And that's going to be our binder, along with our cheese, our Parmesan cheese. Okay, this is going to be so much healthier for you than how we've always made it in the past. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, let's give this a stir. My gosh, it already looks yummy, 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 doesn't it? And if you have a little bit extra, it's no big deal. Oh, we're gonna put some more in there. I see a bunch of stuff at the bottom, so I don't think we're gonna have any left over. Go ahead and put some more down in here. And then we're gonna put our Parmesan cheese. Now, of course, this is gonna have some fattening stuff in it. I mean, not really fattening, but you're going to have to, you can't sit and eat this whole bowl. That's the whole thing. You've got to eat it in moderation, for crying out loud. So let's just, okay. I put a good handful in there. So, yes, if you hear some crying, puppy crying, she's not a puppy, but she's little, and she's outside, and she wants in here. So I stirred, okay, this is a 2 cup, it's a 1.5 cup bag of Parmesan cheese. This is where you're gonna get a lot of your salty depth. It's in there. I'm gonna add a little bit more pepper. I know I need it right now because I can't even see one tiny little bit of pepper in there. Okay. Oh my gosh, it smells amazing. All right, so now I've got a small 8x8 pan. I'm gonna spray it with some ham. Spray it good, because there's not really much fat in here, just your cheese. Alrighty, pop it in your 8x8 pan. We're gonna spread it out in here. I just got a notification from the Weather Channel. Okay, we're gonna spread it out. Now this is, like I said, it's not a main meal. This is like a dip. And you know what we're gonna eat this with? Probably some celery sticks, some of those whole grain crackers that you get from Costco, carrots, things like that. and it's gonna be great. Now we're gonna take some more cheese. We're gonna put it on top. Just a tiny bit more. So out of 1.5 cups of this, 1 serving is 1/4 cup. And I still have almost 1/2 of a bag left. So you see that this is not a big fattening thing. So I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna turn on my air fryer and I'm gonna put it on bake, and I'm gonna put it on 350 degrees. And I'm gonna just do that right there. And I'm gonna put this on for about 25 minutes or so. And it'll be preheated in about less than 2 minutes. So when it is done, I'm gonna come back on, I'm gonna show you the finished product. Okay, y'all, our dip is out of the oven and it is actually cooled because I was busy working on our boneless ribs. Okay, so I have got a piece of very, very crisp celery. So I'm going to dip it in our dip. Oh, I want to get some of that corner. Ugh. All right, here we go. Oh, crunchy. Oh man. The flavor of that is amazing. And you're not gonna miss the mayonnaise and all that extra calories. You're just not gonna miss it. So this is a success. I'm gonna even get up in there and get a corner of that because I want some of that, some of that brown corner. You could put some of this on a baked potato. That would be wonderful. It would just be wonderful alongside maybe some asparagus or something on your dinner plate. It would just be great. But celery or some whole grain crackers like I was talking about we get at Costco, it'd be great in that. I was just sitting here thinking, instead of putting mayonnaise in, say, your tuna salad or even some salmon patties, this would be great to add instead of that. Just put some salmon with it, roll it up into some patties, put it in some tuna for tuna salad. Just, the possibilities are endless. But anyway, I am Christy with Christy's Home. Please subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.